If you clicked on this video, you're probably a mom who wants to get back on track with prioritizing herself. You probably are like me and somehow blinked and just realized, oh my God, I haven't gotten my nails done in some time. I haven't gone to the doctor for a checkup in some time. I'm picking up weight. I'm just not feeling like myself. Like, how did we get here, moms? We got here because we wanted to nurture and take care of the little ones that God's blessed us with. And in the process of prioritizing them, somehow we lost priority of ourselves. And I am here to help us get back on track. And I'm here to share some things that I did to get me back on track as more than a mom, but Majesty and a great mom. And here to talk to you about that today. I really did some reflection on how did I get here in the first place. And so I want to share some vulnerable storytelling just to share how I became a mother and became really so consumed with motherhood that I lost myself. So when I reflected back, I first was pregnant in 2020. And when I was pregnant in 2020, this is in the middle of the pandemic, let me remind you, I actually experienced a miscarriage. It's called a miscarriage, where I'm carrying the baby, but the baby no longer has a heartbeat. It was devastating. And I went through waves of depression. I really feel like I had like postpartum depression based off like how I felt after that particular loss. And then just grief and just cycling with, this is the first time I've ever been pregnant. And it ended in a way that I didn't expect. So I'm dealing with grief. I'm dealing with loss for about 11 months until 2021 when I get pregnant again. In 2021, when I get pregnant again, we're still in the pandemic. And at this point, I have mixed feelings. I am grateful to be pregnant again and scared to be pregnant again because I don't know if this pregnancy will be successful and go full term. I'm literally holding my breath. I'm literally praying. And when I reflect back, I think around 14 weeks we told our family because I was scared to get them excited, not knowing that if this would be successful. Around 20 weeks of this pregnancy is when I finally let myself exhale and start to get excited about it. So this pregnancy is the pregnancy of my son, Legend, who successfully arrived in 2022, in January of 2022. And so when I look back at that, I'm like, 2020 and 2021 for me were years of loss, sadness, anxiety. 2022 is when I first had the chance to be a mother. And so I'm like, God, you blessed me with this chance to be a mother. I am holding this sacred. I will be the best mother. I will cherish every moment. And I think what happened is because I was so grateful to be a mother because I experienced loss, I thought there was no space for me in this. I had to focus completely on this child that God blessed me with because I'm so lucky for the opportunity to even be here, right? So I think I just like oversteered to the mother thing because I had a pregnancy loss, if I'm honest. I think I'm like, there's no space for me to do anything. Like, is he okay? Let me check on him. What does he need? Let me be the best breastfeeder for him. Let me be the best educator for him. Let me have classical music playing. I like over-indexed on just making sure his world was perfect. And in that, I started to neglect my world. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you, but I was just like, oh, I'm so grateful to be a mom. Let me just show up in the best way. And after becoming a mom, breastfeeding was really hard for me. And that was a struggle. And I went through a really mental gymnastics with that because I thought my body is supposed to just produce so much milk where I can feed my baby. And I was an underproducer. So early into motherhood, I had to get comfortable with breastfeeding and supplementing to make sure that my son could have enough milk. So that was the first kind of mental battle I had as a mother, just like, this isn't going perfect. My body should be doing more. Let me take this supplement. Let me drink this tea. Let me drink this coconut water. And my body just was like, girl, if he needs 6 ounces, I'm only giving you 3. And I had to be okay with it and find peace with that. But I really think, between postpartum depression, which I definitely experienced, and me just having stress and pressure on myself being an underproducer for breastfeeding, those first 6 months of pregnancy, post-pregnancy, were just really challenging. And I tried to show up in the other ways for my son as best as I could. And what ended up happening is I'm like, oh, let me take him to his appointments. Let me take him to this. Let me get his ears checked. Let me get him in the best daycare possible. Let me have him go to this play date. And, I stopped getting my nails done. I stopped getting massages. I stopped getting facials. I stopped making time to work out. And next thing I know, I'm like gaining weight. I'm losing just sight of who I am and the things I like and who I am outside of being a wife and a mom. And all that got really fuzzy. The first thing I did to kind of get out of that fog to reprioritize myself was I actually joined a mastermind. It's called Brand Rehab. It's under Ronnie Brown. And it's a coaching program for women who do small businesses. Because where I was in motherhood, I was an entrepreneur before I was a mother. But when I became a mother, I didn't even know, like, where does my business fit into this, me being this perfect mother for him? It was such a hodgepodge in my head. So doing the mastermind allowed me to have a coach, look at my business model, look at my monetizations model, and really be like, girl, why are you doing this? You need to be focusing on this. And it gave me really some clear direction from someone outside of me to say, Majesty, you're so good at this. Why aren't you entertaining this? You're so gifted at this. Why isn't your business model set up this way? So one advice is, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a side hustle, like, invest in coaching, invest in workshops, invest in masterminds. It will help you get unstuck if you're a mother who has entrepreneurial passions, but you want to continue to explore business while you're a mother. That was the first thing I did. Second thing I did to reprioritize myself was I took a solo trip. I went to Asheville, North Carolina, got a hotel room by myself for a couple of days, and it was uncomfortable because I thought, how can I leave my baby? How can he live without me? How can he survive, right? That baby was fine with his daddy and with his grandma. And it allowed me to nurture myself and rest and do a vision board, journal, pray, listen to music, watch TV. I had not had time just to think. And I didn't realize that until I did that vacation. I got to eat what I wanted. I got to do what I wanted after just so many months of, what does the baby need? What does my little one need? And I was not thinking of what I needed. And that vacation reset me, considering my wants and needs too. It was so healthy for me. Something else I did to reprioritize myself was get a haircut. If you've been rocking with me for some time, you know I change my hair often. But most recently, I got a pixie haircut and I got a relaxer. These are two big swings. My last haircut and relaxer was like 2017. So it's been 7 years. But the time was now. I needed a shift. I needed a shakeup. And it was just what I needed to just do something for myself that made me feel beautiful. Granted, I feel beautiful when I have long hair, when I have bobs, but it's just something about cutting your hair as a woman, freeing yourself. Like, there's nothing to hide behind. There's no ponytail. There's nothing touching my neck. It's just a freedom that I can't explain. It really liberated me and just like, I'm doing what I want. I'm doing what I want. And it was such a mom move that has recently really boosted my confidence. Another way that I have prioritized myself recently is getting back in the gym and actually exploring intermittent fasting. So I'm a foodie. I've never been someone that's like crash dieted or like juice cleansed or like explored kind of like quick fixes to my weight. I'm gonna eat good, and if I want to lose weight based on how I feel and how I want my body to look, I'm gonna do it in a way that's sustainable and slow and healthy. So I found this app called Simple that allows you to, one, track your meals, track your hydration, and even just the thought of tracking meals was new for me. I've never been one to count macros. I still don't. I've never been one to log my food. So even just being mindful of like logging what I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with snacks, it made me really think about what I was eating. And then logging hydration, the goal was to get at least 70 ounces of water a day. It just made me more mindful about drinking water. It also, on the Simple app, it encourages you to move 90 minutes a day. So it made me want to walk more. It made me want to get to the gym, do my Pilates class, and it made me just want to be more healthy overall. But the cool thing about the app is it lets you track intermittent fasting. So I started with what I would consider like mild intermittent fasting, where from 8 p.m. at night to 10 a.m., I'm intermittent fasting and allowing my body to get a break. And for me, it still let me eat my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just allow me to not eat so late. Before this intermittent fasting, I would be eating dinner at like 10:30, 11 at night, just not very conscious of the timing I was eating it. And honestly, because most of the work I do is sedentary on my laptop, I wasn't moving my body a lot before downloading this app. Now I am down 6 pounds in a healthy way of just being more mindful of what I'm eating, how I'm moving, and how I'm drinking my fluids. So check it out. This is not sponsored, but it's an app that I really like that didn't feel so intimidating. It didn't feel like I'm calorie counting or macro counting. It was just like, hey, what are you eating for this meal? Here are some suggestions. And it was really good because what I realized is I wasn't getting enough protein. I was somebody that would eat like a Greek yogurt for breakfast and just like sometimes skip lunch and then eat dinner. And I realized I needed more protein. I needed to be eating more frequently throughout the day. So check it out. Or just as a mom, being mindful of meals and nutrition, staying hydrated and taking care of yourself is super huge. Last thing I did for myself is I'm a creator, I'm an influencer. And as a mom, I realized I really got into mom content, which I like. And it's a organic extension of my life. I get to share my son with you all, share stories, share experiences. And I really had to search on how can I prioritize myself in addition to my motherhood content as Majesty? Like, what do I actually like to create? And when I did some digging, I got back into food content. Like, I love to eat. When I have downtime, I love to watch like food YouTube, Food Network. So when I thought about something I can do for fun for my own content journey, it was creating food content. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see lately I've been sharing recipes. You'll see I've been sharing restaurants. And that is me prioritizing myself for creating something that I love that has nothing to do with me being a mother, has nothing to do with my child. It's just for me. So hopefully these things I feel like are very like easy, approachable tips and moves and decisions that maybe you can try as a mom if you've had one child and you've lost your way and gotten off track, two children, 3 children, twins, triplets, whatever. I feel like as mothers, we deserve to be prioritized. We give so much to our families, and something about recently, it was just a wake-up call for me to be like, girl, you got to get back to being that girl. Like, you're his mom, but you're also like Majesty. So I hope this just feels like the girlfriend talk you needed. It's definitely the pep talk and the changes that I needed. So if you're a mom, if you can relate to this, if you're a mom that has ever just felt like, I gotta reprioritize myself, I am last and I need to be first, drop in the comments some things that you did to get back on track, that you did to make yourself feel special again, that you did to really feel back in your body and feel more like yourself. Moms, I can't wait to hear from you. And if you love this type of content, let me know. Please subscribe. I promise you I'm committing to doing more long form content just for you so we can have these type of conversations. In the meantime, stay safe, enjoy your day. And remember, you that girl.